You know that sound? The alarm goes off, you drag yourself out of bed, and what's the very first thing you do? For so many of us, it's that automatic stumble towards the coffee maker. But what if I told you that morning ritual, the thing we all believe is saving us, is actually making things worse? Well, today, we're going to look beyond the coffee cup and get into the real science of how to wake up, right? It's the question we are all asking ourselves as we slam that snooze button for, what, the third time? Are we just not morning people, or is there something bigger, something biological going on here? Turns out the answer is pretty fascinating. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get into why we struggle in the morning and our reliance on caffeine. Then, we'll dive into the actual neuroscience, what caffeine does to your brain and why it so often backfires. And then, the good stuff. We'll build a powerful, natural toolkit so you can finally master your mornings. Okay, let's just be real about this cycle. You wake up feeling like a zombie, so you reach for a stimulant. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? But that simple act, that quick fix, can kick off this chain of dependency that is just so incredibly hard to break. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The most widely used psychoactive substance on the entire planet. This isn't just about liking the flavor. For millions of us, it feels like a tool we absolutely need just to function, just to feel normal. But what if that tool is actually working against our biology? And this is where it gets really interesting. That very substance we count on to give us a boost might actually be sabotaging our energy in the long run. Welcome to the great caffeine paradox. We drink coffee for everything on the left, right? We want to feel sharp, focused, full of energy. But how many times does that dream curdle into the reality on the right? You get the jitters, that awful afternoon slump hits you like a truck, and then you can't sleep well, which of course just starts the whole cycle over the next day. So what is going on here? This quote is the key to the whole mystery. That crash you feel, it has nothing to do with you running out of energy. It's all about a chemical in your brain called adenosine, and how caffeine pulls off a temporary and ultimately very costly little magic trick. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain and see what's really happening inside your head when you drink that coffee. It's a pretty cool bit of neurochemistry that explains everything, both the high and that crash that always follows. Okay, meet adenosine. The easiest way to think about it is like a sleepiness timer for your brain. The moment you wake up, that timer starts. As your brain uses energy all day, adenosine is the byproduct. So the longer you're awake, the more of it builds up, creating this sleep pressure that gets louder and louder, basically yelling at you, hey, it's time to rest. Now, this is the most important part to understand. Caffeine doesn't create any energy. It's a chemical imposter. It sneaks into your brain and blocks the parking spots, the receptors for adenosine. So your brain simply can't tell how tired it actually is. But here's the catch. While those spots are blocked, the adenosine doesn't just disappear. Oh no, it keeps building up in the background, like a crowd waiting to get into a concert. And when the caffeine finally wears off, the security guards leave, the floodgates open, and all of that sleep pressure hits you at once. That's the crash. And, over time, your brain is smart and it adapts, but in a way that just makes things harder. To try and hear that sleepiness signal, it literally builds more receptors for adenosine. And that's why you need more and more coffee just to feel the same effect. It's why if you try to stop, the headaches and brain fog are so brutal. And yeah, even one cup in the afternoon can mess with the deep, restorative sleep you need to actually clear out all that adenosine for the next day. It's a vicious cycle. Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's talk about the solutions, because they are real, they are powerful, and they are sustainable. And the best tool in your arsenal, it's completely free. It's sunlight. This number right here is the game changer, 100,000 lux. That's a measure of the intensity, the brightness of direct sunlight. And it's not just bright, it's a powerful biological signal that tells every single cell in your body, okay, the day has officially started, let's go. And this right here is why just flipping on the lights in your kitchen isn't cutting it. I mean, look at this comparison. Your brightest indoor lights don't even come close. In fact, what's really wild is that even on a super cloudy, gray, overcast day, the light outside is still exponentially more powerful for waking up your brain. So the protocol is actually super simple. Sometime within that first hour after you wake up, just get outside. The amount of time depends on how cloudy it is, but the most important part is no sunglasses and don't do it through a window. You need that full spectrum light to hit the special receptors in your eyes. This one simple habit sets a healthy timer for your body to give you daytime energy, and it also sets another timer to make you feel sleepy about 16 hours later. It's incredible. All right, let's talk about tool number 2, morning movement. Think of it like this.
If sunlight is the switch that flips you to on, movement is the engine that actually starts generating real cellular energy. And we're not talking about running a marathon before breakfast, okay? It could be a brisk walk around the block, a few minutes of stretching, even just doing some jumping jacks in your living room. A single, short session is all it takes to get your heart rate up, release those feel-good chemicals, and get your brain firing on all cylinders. I mean, when you stack them up side by side, the choice is pretty obvious, isn't it? Caffeine is like a high-interest loan that you have to pay back later. Exercise, on the other hand, is a long-term investment in your biology. It actively makes your brain healthier by boosting stuff like BDNF, which is like fertilizer for your brain cells, and it actually helps you sleep better that night. Okay, let's put this all together. Let's build a simple, super effective routine that works with your body's biology, not against it. Here it is. 4 easy steps. 1. Hydrate with a big glass of water. 2. Get that sunlight to set your internal clock. 3. Get your body moving to actually generate some energy. And 4. Fuel up with smart food that gives you steady power, not a sugar rush and crash. See? This isn't a quick fix. This is a foundation for real, all-day energy. So ultimately, this is the choice we have every single morning. When that alarm goes off tomorrow, are you going to borrow energy from later in the day? Or are you going to use these simple, powerful tools to build it from the ground up? Thanks for checking out this explainer.